Welcome to this session on Core Platform and Microservices. In this session, we will explore together how OpenText APIs can help you extend your existing applications or build new applications. My name is Maarten Rijmakers and I'll be hosting this session together with John Verwij, Herbert van Til and Bas van Vliet. And to start off, I would like to start with a quote from Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee started the internet over 30 years ago, and as from the creation from the first website, he said that the internet can only become successful if it is an open platform, a platform where people can collaborate to jointly make it a success. And today, over 30 years later, I think he succeeded, because the web is everywhere. The web is in my trousers, the web is in my car, the web is even in my house. Because my house is filled with these internet-infused devices that collaborate and communicate with the internet. They receive instructions from the internet or send status updates to that internet. And I really bought into this idea. I bought into this platform because marketing told me so. Marketing told me to make my home smarter if I would invest in devices that are web infused. At least that's what I believed. I believed the marketing message from the intelligent camera vendor, because they said if you install our cameras in your house, our intelligent cameras, you will make your house smarter because they will detect movement, they will detect who is snooping around your house, and they will send you status updates immediately to your cell phone. And also the smart lighting vendor told me that same marketing message. They said if you buy into our smart home idea, you can control all of your lights from anywhere. And you can see from the other side of the world who turned on the lights where, which color they are, and you can update the status of the lights as well. And the same for the smart audio vendor. They said if you buy into our smart home idea, you can control your audio devices from your cell phone and even create a different mood in each and every room of your house. And the smart sensors vendor, they said you can control the temperature or keep track of the temperature in your house. You can keep track of the status of doors and windows, whether they're opened or not. So that's the marketing messages that I believed and bought into. And I see that when installing all these devices in my house, that my smartphone is really the hub with which I can control all of these devices, all of my smart house. And yet, I can't say I'm happy. Even more, I feel a bit of a headache when I see all these different devices and these different ecosystems sending me messages, causing bleeps and bings and peeps on my cell phone to act on the event statuses or the events that are happening in each of the ecosystems. That's not what I wanted. I don't want all these apps on my cell phone screaming at me, asking for my attention. What I want is that all these apps, all these ecosystems, they work together. That they work together in the context of a process. For example, the coming home process is a simple process that everyone will recognize. What I want is that my house, when I approach my house, that my house knows that I'm coming home. And automatically that my house then says, okay, I'm going to turn the heating on. And also, when I'm approaching my house and I'm driving up my driveway, that motion is being detected, and the motion sensor detecting the motion is instructing my camera to take a picture and to analyze, using face recognition or license plate recognition, whether it's really me arriving home. And if it is me arriving home, then I want also the light sensor to be included to know whether it's light or dark. And when it's light, I want the door to be opened and the music to be turned on. And when it's dark, I want the lights to be turned on as well, so I don't bump my legs when running or arriving in my house. And when it's not me, I want automatically the alarm to be sounded, and also a message be sent to me to inform me that someone is snooping around my house. But this I cannot do, because I bought in all these different ecosystems, these walled gardens that are their own information silos. I can't build such a process across all these different applications, and that's a pity. And something similar we see in business as well. There are many IT vendors that say, we can deliver to you a smart enterprise. We can make your enterprise into a smart enterprise if you buy into our ecosystem. And that's not how companies work. Companies don't think in these walled gardens, in these single ecosystems. Businesses think in processes. Processes that can span multiple different application ecosystems. And what businesses actually want is, throughout their business processes, that they can infuse services, infuse functionality from a variety of applications to augment, to increase the value, to further automate certain business processes. Let's think, for example, about the hiring process. When we're talking about a hiring process, what is it that we want? In this process, we will see that, first of all, a job profile needs to be created, after which it is going to be published. So when such a job profile is being created by the different stakeholders, the hiring manager, the HR manager, there needs to be a sign-off moment, a sign-off that the job profile is finalized. And then that job profile needs to be published. Needs to be published on an application tracking website, on a hiring website, but also on an applicant workspace, on an applicant dossier, if you will. After that, multiple applicants may register their CVs. They can do that digitally. They might also still do that physically by just sending a letter, an application letter, to the organization. In any case, that CV needs to be registered, needs to be captured. The information on the CV needs to be recognized, and also that CV needs to be added to the applicant workspace for follow-up. And after that, multiple tasks will happen for interviews of the applicant, etc., etc. And then at a certain point in time, one lucky candidate will get a contract. But such a contract needs to be created as well. So all the different stakeholders need to collaborate on building that contract, and then it needs to be signed off as well, that all the stakeholders are pleased with the contract that is going to be offered, after which it is going to be sent to the applicant who needs to sign it. And after signature, that applicant becomes an employee, and that contract is being added to the applicant or then the employee workspace, the employee dossier, after which that person is hired. Now, this process requires different stakeholders. This process requires different applications on which the different stakeholders work throughout that process. And for this to be a smooth and automated process, we need to leverage APIs. We need to leverage integration between different application ecosystems. And this is exactly what Tim Berners-Lee meant 30 years ago for the web to be successful, is for it to be an open platform, an open ecosystem of multiple application ecosystems that can talk to one another, that can integrate. And this is exactly what we are offering with developer.opentext.com. With developer.opentext.com, we provide you with a variety of services that you can infuse, embed in your different applications to augment them, to add value to them, to automate them further. And the services that we are offering is a capture service, a signature service, a content, a workflow and viewing services, and we are adding more and more services over time. Developer.opentext.com is a platform also for developers to experiment and get acquainted with the services that we offer there. There's a free sandbox environment, a free tier where you can just subscribe and you have access to your own tenant, where you can create and mold your own services to embed them in your applications. All the API documentation is readily available on developer.opentext.com. And now I would like to give the word to Herbert van Til, who will explain to you how we within OpenText, within the solution consulting community, have built several use cases in which we leverage and use those services to automate and build streamlined applications. Herbert, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Yes, so in the summer time frame, we did a little summer camp where we tried out the OT2 APIs for core capture and core signature ourselves. First of all, we created two small use cases. One is the signature process using a kind of a chatbot where we can send a document for signing and receive back all the information. So the process is as follows. First of all, we start a process asking the bot to sign. We use the Telegram app for that. Upload the document that needs to be signed. Telegram will come back with some questions about an email address, a subject, and the name of the signee. And after processing everything, the information is sent to the OpenText core signature service in the cloud. And there the user will receive an email that asks him or her to sign it. And after signing, receive back an email with a signed document and some logging information. So here's a small video that we created of the whole process. First of all, we start with the sign command. Then the system asks us to upload a document that needs to be signed. Here's a contract that we want to be signed. Then you get the questions about the name of the signee that need to be provided in the app. The email address of the signee and the subject of the email that will be sent to the person that needs to sign the contract. And after providing all the information, we get a review of all the content and need to say OK to the system to process everything. And then the document will be sent through the core signature APIs to the signee. And you see the email coming up in the email box. Of course, the integration can be using authentication and authorization options, but we skipped that for the demo. And here, the user provides the signature by drawing it or by typing the data in. Or if he or she has signed before, can also be saved signatures there. And after providing all the information and signing the document, an e-bill will be received again in the inbox with links to the signed document, showing the content, but also that it already has been signed and the signature information is available on the document itself. But also in the same email there is a link to the signing log document where you can see exactly when, where and who signed the document with the hashes and all the information in there about the browser and the date and the time. So that was in a nutshell what we simply created, even as non-programmers, to integrate the signature services with the Telegram app. So for this process we use three APIs, the authorize, the upload and the sign API, but there are many more APIs available in the signature process. For example, status request, delete, download and view documents. So we also created a small dashboard showing some information of all the documents that are still in the signature process and documents that have been signed, and also with the possibility to just press the button, select the document and then view in the inline viewer the content of that signed document and the signing log as well. So that was the first process that we used, and now the second use case is about character recognition. So with the core capture service, we also integrated that with the Telegram app, where we just make a picture with a telephone of a document, in this case some page of a book, upload that with the app to the core capture service process, and getting back the captured result of that document first as a return as a text in the app, but also as a PDF in an email box. So also for this we have a small video showing how this process works. First we make a picture of a book, a page of a book, a page with a lot of text on there, so you can really see that it can quite fast recognize all the text on this page. So by uploading that, it's sent to the core capture bot, to the core capture service, and after a couple of seconds we get the result back of all the text that was recognized on that small picture. And at the same time the system also sent an email with a PDF where you see the same text in a PDF with the layer below it, that you can see that it's selectable text in there, and you can really select the text from this page. So that were two small use cases that we worked with the OT2 services. And Bas will now explain that on the website you can also create some standard apps. There's a lot of tutorials there, which Bas will now explain.
Yes, so as you just saw Herbert presenting the various services that we have on the OT2 platform, I will now tell you something about the standard apps that we have developed on that very same platform. So as you can see on this slide, you have the foundational platform that's also used for the services. And on top you see those services, but on the semicircle that's on top, you see the different apps that we have pre-built as OpenText and are ready for use. So we have the various integrations, which you see on the left with the other platforms such as Microsoft 365. What we also have, what you see on the top, is specific apps for certain industries. So we have a core for SAP SuccessFactors, which really focuses on the HR scenario, but also standard horizontal apps such as Core Case that can be used for case management in all variants, as well as core content. Then on the right hand side you see the various what we call industrialized apps, such as regulatory compliance, core for regulatory planning, and so on and so on. So what you see in the next slide is an example of core content. The core content app is a very easy to use app that's built on this platform, and it's focusing on the standard content management scenarios. So the big difference compared to our other platforms is that this is very easy to use and set up, so you can get up and running in hours instead of weeks. And you can already integrate it into various other platforms. For example, the S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition. This is also a SaaS version of the SAP platform, which is already integrated into the core content app, using that same business workspace concept as we have in our other products. So the user experience is the same. The way of setting this up is a lot more easy and user-friendly. A similar thing we've already done for Salesforce. So you can combine core content with both SAP and Salesforce in a similar way as you're used to. This helps your Salesforce users navigate through the content that they need in conjunction with their Salesforce opportunity, campaign, or customer, and also having the same access into an SAP landscape, for example, for the order processing. And of course, last but not least, we've also integrated it with Microsoft Teams, giving you the same bridge between the collaborative and the structural world with this new core content app. Then, to make things easy, we've also pre-integrated it already with the signature solution. So where you can use the signature service standalone, you can also use it in conjunction with the core content app, allowing you to have complete workflows and also official signing of documents. And then I mentioned it before, also the core case product, which is a case management application, is already integrated with the core content product. This allows you to create case applications with a specific workflow and combine it with all the content management functions that you need. For example, having a complete RFP case where all the RFP documents are nicely stored into core content. A bit more on this core case, I mentioned it in the beginning. It's a fully functional case management application which is really built on a no-code principle. So it allows you as a customer to easily configure and adapt the case models as well as the screens and elements and properties that you need in order to have a fully functional case app. This was my presentation about the core standard apps. As you can see, we've already have quite a portfolio, and this will be expanded over time. So keep an eye out for the OT2 announcements and the platform apps that will be developed, updated every quarter, and expanded as we go. Thanks a lot.